everyone. This is Michael Rice, aka The Connector, and we are here on the New Urban Network. Program today is The Connector Live, and The Connector Live is a program that was created to highlight and spotlight exceptional individuals in our community who are doing magnificent things. So I got some great, had some great guests, and I got a great guest for you today. But before we get into it, I'm going to start off with kind of my theme of our interview, and I'm thinking about purpose. And let me just read you an excerpt. Purpose. Have you ever wondered why you were placed where you are today? Ever question why you have these certain set of friends, family, and co-workers around you? You think it's an accident that you're in this situation, dealing with these circumstances? Once you realize that you're here for a purpose, you begin to understand your life. Suddenly, you'll see there are no coincidences. You'll recognize the messages being delivered to you each day. Direction on where you should go come to you in the form of insights from your friends, colleagues, and even strangers. Recognizing your purpose opens your eyes. It gives your life precision, direction, and inspiration. It allows you to deal with obstructions, obstacles, and challenges with faith, courage, and commitment. Purpose allows you to realize what is possible in your life. Purpose gives you expectation. Knowing your purpose will allow you to rise above your present circumstances. It will give you a powerful sense of confidence that there is more in your life than you are presently experiencing. It will move you beyond where others say, what if, or yeah, but, when it comes to tapping your potential. You will stop seeing obstacles because your eyes will only see your goals. So purpose. And I have brought, and the purpose of this program is to identify individuals within the community doing magnificent things, but also to identify individuals who are adding value to the community, who are cultivating our community, which is so very important because we're dealing with this crisis. I call it the virus that is going around, but the side effects of the virus is economic stuff that's going on. They talking about jobs and all like that, but also health is being neglected, you know. And one of the things that was revealed as the virus came in there, that Black community was one of the most susceptible communities because of the present state of health, and because of the lack of health care, the lack of having insurance and stuff like that, but some practices that we had. So I got the expert in here today that's not only going to help you with, that's going to talk about the physical health, right? We became an expert in that, but also in mental. And, you know, there's got to be a relationship, right? So I know that he's going to talk about that relationship as well. So let's just take a minute to bring on. He's got wear so many hats. He gave me a list of titles that went off the page, you know. But he's a doctor of holistic medicine. He's a clinical psychologist. He's doing the holistic piece. He's doing the mental health piece. He's just changing the community. And he's doing all this in Baltimore. I mean, he's transplanted from Philly over to Baltimore. So, I'll be spotlighting native Philadelphians. But I'm spotlighting people all over because I have some other people that from the West Coast that are doing some crazy things, right? So right now, let me introduce, bring them on in here. Dr. Professor Consir Thot.
Greetings, my brother. How are you today?
I am blessed, man. I am blessed. I had a crazy day, but I just had I just had a sponsor come in and buy like a ton of books. So I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, to
Good.
give away. So I'm doing a giveaway on some books as it turns out. So
Okay.
I'm happy.
Okay. Yeah, that's an awesome book, brother. I got to flip through it a little bit, but I like to take the opportunity to sit down and really digest the whole thoughts that you're putting together. So I know you're a very heavy dude, man.
You're gonna find yourself. I mean, I spotlight individuals in there because I identified with them. People that started stuff like you're doing stuff. You're making an impact on so many different people and so many different levels and different places, right? That that's you finding that magnificence in you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna talk about that. I said people don't even talk about that because I mean, and I'm dealing with a lot of young people, so I'm like saying you need to tap it early. Don't wait until you're 35 and they try to be tapping your the magnificence. Do it now. You do much greater work, right? But let's talk about you. Let's start with I mean what you presently are doing, and kind of bring us up to here. Bring us up to your journey. Tell us your journey.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I really appreciate that introduction. Just want to say I'm not a clinical psychologist, but I am a master's level clinical therapist, behavior specialist, and a doctor of holistic medicine. So, I work hand in hand with the psychologist, but I didn't quite take that exact field of mastery. So, I don't want to discredit any psychologists out there. They do what they do, and I'm very respectful. And I also want to thank you, brother, for putting this platform for us to really put it out there, because brothers like me, and I'm sure it's other brothers that you highlight and sisters, that we don't do it for social media. We do it just because it needs done. So a lot of things that gets done and activated in the community, you won't see it on Facebook or Instagram, and I'm not going to sit and take time and tweet about it, But when I get the phone calls and texts of the people that have helped and it served, that helps move me, and just like you said, purpose, that's what this is all about. If you don't have purpose, what is your reason for living? You're just here. I want to see you taking up space and room, and air, because I used to be one of them until I ran across brothers like you that really inspired something in me to do something about things. I could see it all around, but it always was one of the ones that it's not me. It don't affect my community, or I don't go out front of my door and I see it. So I dismissed it. But thanks to brothers like you, that put it out there, hey, I call to action. What is your purpose? And, that's what kind of sparked me in this. But, I'll talk about that later. But, before we begin, I want to give, a thanks to the ancestors, because, I am a reflection of them. It's from their blood, sweat, and tears and perseverance that I'm here today, that I'm able to be on this platform with you. I want to give thanks to the Creator for giving us all life and that breath, that to keep us pushing and moving forward. So I definitely have to put that out there.
Ancestors.
Yes.
I try to mention them in the book as well, as many ancestors as possible to show that they laid the path. The path is easy, really. I mean, it's which direction you need to go in, because they have laid it out. They've laid out the way.
Yes,
and
they did.
If you doing what you doing, and matter of fact, the gifts that you have, right?
Yeah.
You said the gifts when you come on the earth. And
I carry the blood of our ancestors that made it, that didn't give up, that persevered and did what they had to do to make it better for us, for our generations.
Mm-hmm. I think it's so funny because I tell the story. I'm gonna do the story right now, but basically what I say is I know who you are because I know your ancestors, and I know
right.
I know your ancestors survived the walk from the village to the boat, and then the transatlantic voyage, and then slavery, and then Jim Crow, and then I know all them are ancestors, all that. So that just tell you who you are. This is what you
right.
It's your DNA, right?
Right. And it's so imperative that we study those ancestors. We study their works. We don't have to recreate the wheel. We have to pick up the where they left off at, because they left some very big shoes for us to fill, you know, and it'd take a couple generations to fill some of those shoes, because even though things make it hard for us, we have no idea how hard it was for them. I tell people all the time, no slaves ever came from Africa. It was regular people, human beings,
Right.
carpenters, farmers, blacksmiths, you know, skilled trades that came from Africa that were turned into slaves, prisoners of war, a war that we're still fighting to this day.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you something, because you're talking about ancestors and we're talking about purpose. And I always had this thing like, my growth came, and my being a woke, so to speak, came from me recognizing coincidences and messages, even people coming into my life with a message enlightened me, because I used to ignore them. I say, like, they on their mission, I'll be on mine. But now I start recognizing what they saying, what they doing. And at one instance, somewhere in my life, somebody said something to me, or or even caused something to happen that changed my trajectory. So did you ever have experience like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I thinking back, one of my first calls to action was just so it was back in 91, you know, just coming out of high school and everything. I'm in the workforce, you know, undecided about going to college and what my purpose was. And then a funny thing happened in California called Rodney King. You know, when I sat there and witnessed on TV, this black man, similar, that looks like me, looks like my uncle, favors my brothers, favors my friends and family next door, how he just ate those batons from all those police officers. I mean, and he just kept getting up, kept eating them and eating them and eating them. That was so, I can't, I get goosebumps just thinking about that feeling and how it made me feel. And I just remember going to work the next day, and I just couldn't rest. I just, in my head was no peace, no justice, no peace. And that just kept going. And in my mind, it was like, man, what am I doing out here? What is my purpose? What can I do? One, so I don't end up like that. And two, so my brothers don't end up like that. You know, that was a definite reality check for me. And that just hit home so deep on a whole nother level. I just can't explain. I mean, I sat up nights just thinking, what can I do? And the strength of that brother to just keep getting up. You know, after he could, I mean, it was, I don't know if all your listeners remember that. You know, if not, please research this.
What my listeners are thinking about, though, brother, is about the brother Floyd. Just recently, the guy with the knee on the neck.
Listen, I ain't even get to that yet. Yeah. I ain't even get to that part yet. But, you know, that's the history. That's, for me, that's where it started from, you know, leading up to this day, what just recently happened. I mean, it was so many that happened in between that, but that was my first call to action. That was my first reality check.
Okay. So how did it affect you in terms of your actions, in terms of your life now?
Well, okay. So in my life now, I back then, I didn't consider myself an activist, community influence, or community leader or anything. You know, like I said, I didn't have purpose. I was just going day by day, and whatever happens. I mean, my motto was, whenever I wake up, wherever the wind blows me, that's where I'm going. You know, and I was okay with that. But then after that, you know, a lot of things just started going through my head. At first, you know, the first stage of awakening, you're angry, you're upset, you're mad, you know, and I was just looking to just get as much information as possible. I just started reading books, reading my history, find out who I am, where I came from, you know, what really makes me. And then I got into what drives me, what motivates me. So after I was reading all the books and the knowledge, I got turned on to yoga and yoga meditation. And that calmed my spirit, that eased me down to where I can give the information without spitting it. You know, that's what one of my ex-girlfriends used to say, you just spit the knowledge. You just make people defensive. You know, keep some of that spit in your mouth and let them hear and understand you. Let it go seep into them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I started slowing down, started calming down, and I started. I don't like to say meeting people where they are, but I didn't try to bring them to where I was and what I knew immediately. You know, I kind of slow walked things, and I had patience, and I wasn't as frustrated as I was when I first was awakened, when I first became woke.
Okay. So tell me, what's the story? I mean, what is the story that defines Dr. Thot? What's that the story that you would tell? You say, yo, I came, I did this, I did that, and that made me who I am today.
Well, I can tell you, what happened was I'm an avid basketball player. You know, I lost a couple steps over the years. You know, but in my mind, I still play like MJ. You know, but that game kind of transformed me when I started coaching for Harrisburg High. Not the head coach, but on the coaching staff. And one of my first mentors, Coach Smallwood, which was a mentor back in high school. But then now, as a grown up, you know, he's a mentor on the basketball team, and I got to see firsthand what he did and the care he took for those students. It wasn't just about basketball; it's about life. It's about being a grown man, and that just started shaping my thoughts, my actions. And as I got older, much later, I started studying with our great ancestor, Dr. Africa, and I asked him a question. I said, "What's it going to take to get us out of this situation that we're in?" He said, well, it took us 4 generations to get into it. It's going to take us 4 to get out of it. So I started thinking, you know, it's going to start with not me, but with the children coming up. What can I do to affect the children? And the main problem I saw with them was their health. You know, a lot of these children were obese. You know, a lot of these children were just students on my basketball team had high blood pressure. You know, they were pre-diabetic. And I just got so interested, like, you know, right now it's affecting them. It could be affecting me also, you know. So I sought to do something about that. I started to change that narrative that we're coming up with these predisposed to all these diseases. You know, it's not, I didn't get into healthcare. I got into self-care, because self-care is all about preserving you. Once you know your purpose, you understand that you need to be here as healthy and as vibrant as possible. And that's going to that's going to help your cause by getting into all these natural things out here that's right under our nose but we're so convinced that it's this pill or it's this vaccine that's going to save us, you know, but that's healthcare. You know, self-care is you're going to save yourself. You know, and some of these parents, you know, like me, you know, been eating these bad foods for 30, 40 plus years, you know, until they became awakened, or some never did. You know, luckily I had opportunity 10 years ago to become a natural based eater, you know, so my charge was to give it to these youth, you know, was to affect their minds with things that's going to save them, you know, so they can make a conscious decision that, you know, not trust the doctor, but ask them questions. Why are you giving me this? Why are you telling me to take this pill and not telling me to jog around the block? You know, why do I take this vaccine, but it's okay for me to eat this food that's filled with blood of dead animals? You know, question things, you know, because it's your health. The first thing the doctor says to you when you go to the office is, what brings you here today? He's asking you, or she's asking you, to diagnose yourself, you know? So that's self-care. So once we understand that, we can take better charge, better control of our situation. And that was my purpose. That was my mission, to help these children take better control of their life, of their situation. And once they start doing that, everything around them starts being affected, you know? You know,
other journeys, different things or initiatives that you've been involved with.
Well, okay. Shit. It's so many, so many. I'll start with one book. I'm writing a whole health series, My Digestive System. You know, that's the first book of this series. It's a children's book. And it covers all the body regions, you know, all the things that the respiratory system, the digestive system, the endocrine system, the gonadal system, you know, it's all the things that you really don't get the in-depth knowledge of in school. So I put this in a children's book with superheroes, you know, Foxy, Cole, and Brown. You know, those are the superheroes that's going to get you to understand these body parts and what they do. You know, so once you understand these body parts and what they do, you'll be more in control to protect them and to give them the nourishment that they need. You know, so it switches the narrative from eating to make me feel good, taste good, and fill my stomach to eating to strengthen my liver. You know, eating to deconstipate my colon. You know, it changes the whole perspective on your life. And once you change that perspective, the whole world looks different to you.
Right. That sounds like Elijah Muhammad, Eat to Live.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. He has a lot of, and Dr. Sabi, you know, and like I mentioned, Dr. Africa, these are all the Queen of Four. These are all the people that I studied and I looked up to, you know, to get this knowledge about the health. And then when I went through the training to get this doctorate in it, you know, to give me the complete understanding, you know, but that's what we have to do out here to save ourselves.
Now, were you born in Philly or you born in Baltimore? Or tell me about your, you know, because I know you were in Philly, right? And then you in Baltimore?
Okay. Well, actually, I'm from...
Let's start here. Where are your parents from?
Okay, my parents are from Harrisburg, PA.
Okay.
All right, so I'm a PA, born and bred Harrisburg. Shout out to the city, Harrisburg, HBG. You know, that's what gave me life. All right. And during my travels, I used to speak nationally. So I traveled all across the country. And being a holistic speaker, it wasn't you going to do this seminar for the day. You come do the seminar and stay at my house for a month. You know, you go teach at the schools. You go teach at the day camps. You go teach at the assisted living places. You know, we need you here, Dr. Thot. You know, so that's what I did. And I took up residence in Atlanta, Charlotte, South Carolina. You know, I did a lot of things. So I finally retired from my speaking after 5 years on the road, traveling with Dr. Africa and his wife, Dr. Melanie Stevenson. You know, after 5 years of that, I retired and came to Philly. And that's where I did my professional career. You know, I started working inside the clinic, doing drug and alcohol, doing mental health therapy, behavior specialist work with the children. That was my professional life in Philly. That's where, when I met good brothers like you know, that moved me forward, you know, working in the foster care agency. You know, that's next to close to my heart, you know, working with those children that don't have a mother or father that they can easily access. You know, I became their surrogate. You know, I became their mentor. I became their father. I became their mothers, you know, just in the interim, you know. So, yeah. So, and you know, and my mother and father, you know, they moved down to the South. They're in the Carolinas, you know, so that's my vacation spots. You know, I go down and visit them and take a load off.
Yeah. So tell me, what was your, so far in your life, because you got a long life ahead of you, what's your greatest challenge you've overcome?
Oh man, I overcame so many challenges, but I would say the biggest challenge I overcame was my way of thinking. You know, we're all charged with thinking what we know and what we learn is it, you know, and if anyone tries to challenge that, we throw darts at them and tell them that they're wrong and want to argue and debate. You know, once I cleared my mindset of all the colonialism that was put in me and all the false narratives that I grew up with, once I got over that, the world was there was no limit, you know. So I was my biggest enemy. I was holding myself back. I had a bad temper, you know, I had a big ego, you know, I thought I knew so much more than I knew. And once I humbled myself and understood it's so much more out there that I don't know that I need to learn. And learning can come from anywhere and anyone. Once I realized that, the biggest, anything else I could overcome.
Okay. So tell me, what is major goal? Major goal from here. What's the big things that we're expecting from you in the future? I know you got a whole list of things going on just this year, right?
Oh man. So in the future, so what I'm doing is I'm still working hard with my End Childhood Obesity campaign. We're like 10 years in. So right now, what I've been doing is getting all the healthy foods and delivering to these children. So not only are they sitting there without school, because I remember how important lunch was for me. So I know these children are. So this is a prime opportunity that I have to go give these children some healthy foods. So I've been getting a lot of vegetables. People have been donating a lot of vegetables to me, a lot of fruits. My clients, they've been really active and soliciting my services and giving me tips, giving me extra. And it's all going into feeding these children and not just giving them food, giving them healthy, life-sustaining earth energy food. So all my shows this year have been shut down. I have the Wellness Village. I have 3 to 4 shows each year of that. That got shut down due to the current crisis going on, which, it's an opportunity to regroup and really sit down and come out swinging in 2021. So, I look at the positives of everything, So I guess this year is pretty much on pause. I had a couple wellness retreats up in the mountains planned, up in the Poconos Mountains, and one in Hagerstown. They're all on pause. So really this year right now, I'm just sitting back and just feeding the community, watching everything that's going on and watching my community's reactions to things that's going on. And I'm just trying to stay relevant for these children, try and be a voice of reason for the children to keep them active and healthy on their goals. Now is not a time just to.
Do you have an overall thing, a vision at the end of your life, and you look back, you say, well, I created this, I created that. Maybe it's an event, or maybe it's an institution, or maybe it's or just changing somebody's life.
Yeah, I would say that will be my living legacy, to create change, to spark that change energy in someone, to help someone move their spirit. Because part of holistic healing is healing the spirit, mind, and body. So I embody that and put that into every client that I come across, and for them to say that you really helped me take care of myself. You really helped me educate my family. That would be good enough for me, brother. That is my living legacy. So it wouldn't be tied to any brick and mortar, any commercial business. I mean, I have Inside Body, where I sell the herbs and everything, but it's that satisfaction that I help someone move their spirit, help them identify their purpose.
So how will you identify your passion?
How will I identify it?
Yeah, identify your passion for. Tell me about your passion. These are all chapters in my book, so I want to make sure I want to get your opinion on that. What passion means to you, and what your passion is.
Passion to me is being free. Freedom to choose where you want to be in this life, who you want to be in this life, and to be self-sufficient. That's my passion. My passion is to educate people, to get them to understand that it's not this pill to save them their life. It's going to be them. Ultimately, it's going to save them life. Any pill can be circumvented by natural eating, by exercise. We're plants. We need the same thing plants need: sunlight, water, natural food. That's what we need. Once we have that, we won't have to be dependent on this medical system, because just like when this pandemic happened, all the medicines are basically coming from China and all these other places and pharmacies. Once that's shut down, what do? You're left to your own devices to survive. You don't hear doctors on TV saying, well, take a vitamin, do some push-ups, run some laps. They're saying wear a mask. Wearing a mask isn't going to save you. Wearing a mask isn't going to boost your immune system. They're not saying take elderberry. They're not saying take some moringa. They're not saying consult your holistic physician to help build your immune system.
Now, all right, you're gonna have to break down that stuff now. What's moringa? What is that, and what does it do?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, brother. That's a great question. Because right now, that's a part of my holistic degree is I'm a certified herbalist. So what I do is I take all the plant-based herbs that we have out there. Some people call them weeds. Some people call them seasonings. And seasonings is because they change the temperature of your body. You know, that's why they were called seasonings. So moringa is a natural leaf that's native to India and Africa that is used to bring down heart disease, to bring down high blood pressure, to lower cholesterol. You know, that's moringa is one of the super elements. A super element can do 5 or 6 different things at one time. So moringa is my go-to for any and everything.
So
now,
how would you take it? How would you make it in tea, or you put
it in, right now,
you take it
right now? Okay, you're asking some great questions, brother.
Yeah.
Right now, I make a moringa tea. If you go online, you'll see a lot of different creators. They use moringa with a lot of different formulas. But right now, I'm telling you exclusively, I'm coming out with my moringa gummy bears. You know, so this is going to be like a one a day that you can take. It's going to help lower your cholesterol, boost your immunity, prevent high blood pressure. You know, and it's going to be in a nice little gummy, and I'm going to sweeten it up for you so it'll be palatable, you know, easy to take, easy to chew, fun to take for children and adults.
Okay. So how can I use it right now? Because you don't have the gummy bears right now, right?
Yeah. Well, right now, you just
adjust it.
It's a gummy bear. You just pop in your mouth. It's
I
like
mean,
candy.
Are they available?
What do you say?
Are they available right now?
Give me 2 weeks. They're in production right now.
I'm telling you, I'm saying we need it for the crisis. You get it with the virus.
Well, right now for the crisis, I have an elderberry formula. Elderberry is specifically to build your immune system, and that's in a tea. So I got the elderberry, sea moss, Irish moss, and that helps build your immune system and lower inflammation. These are all the symptoms that they're saying that this COVID problem is causing. So this formula that I have right now, I have some mailers out in the other room where I'm shipping off about 30 more this evening. You know, I have a nice little bottles, and you put it in your tea. You know, it's a nice little sipping tea that you drink twice a day.
Okay.
You know, so I have that available right now.
Great. Now tell me, I know because we all stuck in the house, and what do you suggest in terms of, I guess, dietary stuff while you stuck, you know, while you're in this situation? What kind of stuff when I go to the supermarket, I'll be getting and to keep it in my house and keep me alive, and so I'm not snacking on candies and stuff.
Right. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is drink lots of water. You know, while you're sitting in the house, drink lots of water, because that's going to flush everything out your system. You know, without your system being flushed, I can tell you all types of food to put in your system, but without properly flushing it, it's going to be toxic.
You know what's funny? Doc, is I remember when me and you was in Kansas, and every morning we would get up in the morning and we go down, and they had a big jug of water, right? Remember that?
Yes,
water?
Yes.
He says, that's life water. I remember you always saying that. And right across in my kitchen, I got a big thing filled with lemons and water.
Good.
You know, I need to change that alkaline. I know it deals with the alkaline, changing the acidity in your body, right? And that's what it's all about. I didn't know you didn't explain that to me at that time, but I know I said something about that water, and I know you the doc, so I'm gonna give you to that water, right?
Yes. So let me take a minute to explain that now. Most of the foods we eat are acid based, like all your meats, they're all acid based. Your body is composed of 80% alkaline, 20% acid. So when everything you eat is full of acid, you're taking off that ratio. And once your body is more acid than alkaline, that's where diseases start. Like Dr. Sebi said, no disease can exist in an alkaline body. So that's why every morning I drink that water with lemon to make sure my body was alkaline. You know, alkaline is 80% in your brain. So if your brain is full of acid, you don't have clear thoughts. So what I say is you have a digestive problem, because if you have a thought, but it doesn't turn into a complete idea, you're not digesting it. A completely digested thought is a new idea. So
Okay.
when your brain is full of acid, you can't convert that thought into an idea, and it just becomes wasted energy in your head. You know, so it's important for your body to be completely alkaline at all times. That's going to help move your spirit. And that's going to help move your life. So back to the foods. After you drink the water, the alkaline water, get you some kale. It's so many good things that kale's another superfood. All right, you have that kale. When you say anything green is going to help your liver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got
You know,
it right here.
yeah. So you want those green. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Yeah. So you want no. It's your pancreas. Anything green. I'm sorry. Anything green is going to help your pancreas. Your pancreas is what produces that insulin that helps move the toxins out your blood. You know, that's pre-diabetic, when your pancreas isn't producing enough insulin. String bean juice is equivalent to insulin.
Really?
Yes. So that's what you do. You load up on string beans, and of course, watch the sugar, watch the salt. I think I'm down to like maybe a gram of salt and maybe 2 grams of sugar a month. You know, and it's maybe 24 grams in some of these people Kool-Aid and the drinks that they drink. And that's every day, 2-3 times a day. You know, so lower your sodium, because right now when your body's inactive, you're not doing anything, that's going to lead to a lot of weight gain. It's going to lead to a lot of water that's just sitting in your system, you know, and a lot, and your blood is just going to start to pool. That means it's just going to sit in different areas. And that can lead to all types of health problems, especially once it starts pooling around your heart. That's heart disease in the making.
Okay. Tell me, I mean, give me some advice. You know, we deal with, you said you're dealing with a lot of young people. What, somebody pursuing who want to be you, who want to do the things you want to do, what you suggest to them they could do, including what kind of mindset they should have in order
Wow,
to
that's a tough question, man. I know this was rapid fire.
right.
I guess to be me, the biggest lesson I learned, man, is being humble, you know, and understanding knowledge can come from so many different places. You know, just because someone doesn't have the pedigree that you have, or the experience that you have, or the age that you have, what they say, you can learn a lot from a dummy. You know,
Right.
so be humble and take knowledge from anywhere it comes and digest it. You know what I say, it's like nasty food. You know, you got to eat it. You know, nasty food that's good for you, got to eat it. Eat the meat and spit out the bones. You know, but listen to understand. Don't listen to always have something to say in rebuttal. Just take it in.
Right.
Just take it in. Be humble.
Okay.
You know, and definitely reading books. You know, I can't say that this knowledge is coming from me. You know, like Dr. Africa always says, you know, you don't get this knowledge from me. This knowledge from me, I'm just activating the knowledge and wisdom inside you. You know, we all have that God energy from our Creator within us. We just need to activate it. You know, so that's what I say. Just wait for your activation and go over all different things, because it's like my area of expertise is with the mind. Someone else's area of expertise may be with the eyes, you know, with working out, you know, with they can be an expert in nutrition, you know. So find what your gift is. You know, just like when I came into the knowledge and I sat down with my ancestors, the priests and priestess, and they renamed me, you know, and they gave me the last name of Thot, you know. So, you know, a lot of people know the slang term of what that thought means and everything. I take it all in. I laugh with them, yeah. But the whole energy behind that is that's my God quality. Thot was the God of writing. You know, at the time, you know, I didn't know writing. I mean, I can read, you know, I was good at reading. My mom put that in me, but writing. but that's all I do now. If you know what these clinical notes look like, my brother, and now I see what they were talking about. They had the insight to give me that knowledge that this is your gift. This is who you are. So, I mean, I have so many manuscripts that I haven't even put it into publication yet. I edited and ghost wrote. Yeah, I edited and ghost wrote a couple of different books out there, you know. Yeah, so I'm involved in a lot of writing things, you know. I just haven't put all of my stuff out there yet. You know, I'm just a writer.
Get it together, man. We're doing some webinars. We're going to do some webinars. I want to bring you in on that, you know, and once you get your book out there, bring your products.
Well, listen, let me tell you, brother, these books are ready and just sitting on my shelf. I just didn't mass produce them yet.
Okay.
You know, so they're there and ready.
That's what she told me she did 17 books last year.
Who's that?
Dr. Leslie Grace.
Oh, yeah.
17.
She's working.
I mean, she didn't write 17, but she published them. I say so.
She's working on mine too. You know, but I'm holding her up. I'm in her way. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna definitely get with her.
Books. I'm trying to get her to do more marketing.
Yeah, all of that.
But tell me something though, in terms of marketing, in terms of your products, your services. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, please give me that information. How would I get a hold of you? I want to get some herbs. I want to get some advice from you.
All right, so what I do with that is I'm more of I started my career with Dr. Africa, so I was basically teaching other health doctors. You know, so I never put myself on a spotlight or anything like that. I have my company Inside Body, but I don't market. I don't. People that know me, they know me. You know, and I've been making a very good living just off the clients I've had over the years. But you know, I can put it out there. I'm on Facebook. What's my Facebook? Consir Thot on Facebook. Heal Thyself on Instagram. My email is consirthot@gmail.com. You know, send me an email and I'll go ahead and tell you all about these herbs, send you all the information. And I normally just work with my individual clients, you know, because I was rather exclusive. But, you know, with this format, with your listeners, I can put it out there. You know, I also do formulas for other health doctors. That's why I always stay kind of to the background, only sold to my clients. But hey, you can contact Inside Body, you know, off my Facebook page, and you know, definitely go through you. You know how to get in touch with me. You know, I consider you a close friend. So
hey, watch out, man. Watch out. You know, I mean, I put this. This is going to go on the platform. Of course, it's under the New Urban Network, which is on YouTube. That's my YouTube. That's one of my YouTube stations. So it'll be up there. It's going to be on Facebook, and it'll be under Urban Professionals Night Out page, my professional page, under my connector, and digest page.
Yeah, you the connector, man. So I know this is everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. You know, I mean, and we will, you know, we're going to advertise it too. So I got interviews that's coming out now. I have interviews I just put out there. So I like to run them for like a week, and then so it'll be a couple of weeks down there, and I'll be editing it and everything. And I also like to do like a little article or something. I'm also going to take this information just so you know, in my next book called Urban Networking. Excerpts. So that's why I want to get your stories in terms of your challenges and what you identify in there, so I can identify it in there, so we can help other people, aspiring individuals who want to be, want to do what you're doing, and want to grow in themselves.
Yeah. Hey, brother, I would be honored to be mentioned in one of your books, man. It'd be a definite pleasure and an honor. I really respect what you do, man. And not just on this platform, what you do for the children, you know, because that was our connection right there. You know, what you do with the seminars, the workshops you have for the children. You know, I heard about you before I met you. That's how you are. You know, it was a distinguished honor when I finally got to meet you and really talk and get inside you and really learn what makes you go. So I definitely
really got to know each other, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Right.
We did. Yes. So I really appreciate this connection here, and I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
Okay. Yes. No coincidences.
No coincidence, none.
Yeah. So let's end with this quote here. God and nature first made us what we are. And then out of our own created genius, we make ourselves what we want to be.
Right.
Follow always that great law, that the sky and God be our limit and eternity our measurement. Marcus Garvey.
That's heavy. That's powerful.
Yeah, but it's saying what, it's breaking down what this whole interview was about. It was about exactly that, about knowing what your purpose is, and the only limitations is God in heavens, right? For the
right.
and you haven't even reached your greatest height yet.
Not yet, not at all.
Same here, man. I've had so many journeys. I'm like, and moved on to the next journey, right?
Yeah. I'm blessed to still be out here, still kicking and making that legacy happen, brother. Thanks to good brothers like you and the other mentors that I had coming up. I'm very fortunate. And I was one of the ones that I could heed, even at the time. It didn't make sense to me, but I took it in. I held it. I put it on a shelf to later when I may use it. Where it may come in handy for me. And I'm happy I had the insight to do that and not just brush it off.
So I'm not gonna keep you, man. So you may have a party to go to. No.
yeah, right.
that was a joke. I know you observing social distance, washing your hands, with your face, and I know you wear your mask, right?
I'm drinking my teas. I just came from the track. I'm working out. And I'm getting plenty of sunlight. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Be proactive.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So I'm just going to end with this. I always end with this. This is Michael Rice, a.k.a. The Connector. And, I'm looking at you. Yeah. Your name and your title, brother.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't take the cue. My name's Dr. Consir Thot. I'm a behavior specialist, man. Doctor of holistic medicine.
And we are saying always exceed your expectations. Be magnificent.
Magnificent, yes.
All right.
Yeah. And